I'm 78 years old. I learned too late that love needs daily attention, the same way a body needs food and water. You can't give it a lot once and expect it to last on memory alone. I'm sitting alone as I say this. That's not meant to sound dramatic. It's just the truth of the room I'm in. The house is quiet now in a way it never used to be. Not peaceful, just quiet. At this age, time feels different. It doesn't stretch forward anymore. It closes in. You don't think in decades. You think in seasons, maybe years if you're lucky. I'm not telling this story to fix anything for myself. That part is done. I'm telling it because there are things you only see clearly when there isn't much road left. I used to believe love was something you built early and then lived inside of, like a house. Once it was standing, you just maintained the basics and went on with your life. That's what I believed when I was younger. And it didn't sound unreasonable at the time. I met my wife when I was 26. She was practical, warm, not flashy. The kind of person who made ordinary days feel steady. We married fast. Not because of passion, but because it made sense. We both worked. We saved. We planned. We talked about children, about buying a home, about doing things the right way. Back then, love felt like alignment. Same goals, same direction. I thought that was enough. In our 30s, life filled up quickly. Jobs got heavier. Bills arrived like clockwork. Our days became schedules instead of conversations. I didn't stop loving her. I just assumed she knew. I would come home tired and quiet. She would tell me about her day, and I'd half listen while thinking about tomorrow. I told myself I was being responsible. We ate dinner together most nights. Same table, same chairs. Sometimes we spoke, sometimes we didn't. I believed presence was the same as attention. I was wrong. When she asked for small things, I often delayed. A walk after dinner, a weekend away, a longer conversation before bed. Later, I'd say, when things slow down. They never did. In my 40s, I started to feel important. Work needed me. People relied on me. There was satisfaction in that. At home, things felt stable. Too stable, maybe. Like something that didn't need checking on. I didn't notice when her questions changed. They became shorter, less curious. She stopped asking what I thought about things. I told myself that was comfort. That's what long marriages look like, I thought. Quiet understanding. But it wasn't understanding. It was distance. There were moments I could have noticed. I see them clearly now. The way she lingered in doorways, waiting for me to look up. The way she stopped sharing stories that had no clear ending. The way silence started to feel heavy instead of easy. None of it felt urgent at the time. That's the dangerous part. Love doesn't collapse all at once. It thins. So slowly you adjust without realizing what you're losing. I missed birthdays without missing them physically. I was there, but not really there. I answered questions with summaries instead of thoughts. I offered solutions when she wanted presence. I thought consistency was love, paying bills, keeping promises, being reliable, and those things matter, but they aren't enough. By the time I noticed something was wrong, it didn't have a clear shape anymore, just a feeling that something between us had gone quiet. I asked once if she was okay. She said she was tired. I accepted that answer too easily. In my 50s, our children were grown and gone. The house changed overnight. I thought this would be our time. Less noise, less obligation, more space for us. But space can make absence louder. We didn't know how to fill the hours together anymore. We had lived side by side for years, not face to face. She suggested counseling once. I remember feeling surprised, offended even. "What for?" I asked. "We're fine." She didn't argue. That should have told me something. The truth is, I was afraid of slowing down, afraid of sitting still long enough to notice what I had neglected. It was easier to stay busy, easier to believe love was still there, just quiet. Then she got sick. Not suddenly, quietly, the same way everything else had happened. At first it was small, fatigue, missed steps, then appointments, tests, waiting rooms. Illness has a way of stripping life down to essentials. There's no room for assumptions anymore. I sat beside her in hospitals and thought, finally, I'm here. I told myself this was attention. This was care. But I could feel the distance even then. Not anger, not blame. Just a sadness that felt old. One night, close to the end, she asked me a question. Not about treatment, not about plans. She asked, "Do you think we really knew each other?" I didn't answer right away. Not because I didn't care, because I didn't know. She nodded like she already understood my silence, and that was worse than if she'd been angry. She died quietly. No speeches, no dramatic moments, just a long exhale. After the funeral, people told me I had been a good husband. They meant well. I nodded. But I knew better. Good is a broad word. It can hide a lot. What I lost wasn't just her. It was the version of us we never became. All the conversations we postponed. All the affection I assumed had no expiration date. You don't grieve those things loudly. You carry them. In the years since, I've had plenty of time to think. Too much time, some days. The house still stands. The routines still exist. But the center is gone. I replay moments I didn't think mattered. Times I chose efficiency over connection. Times I listened just enough to respond, not enough to understand. I don't torture myself with it. That doesn't help. But I don't excuse it either. Love isn't proven by longevity. It's proven by attention. Daily, ordinary, often inconvenient attention. I used to think love was something you felt. Now I know it's something you do, again and again, even when you're tired, especially when you're tired. If you're listening to this and you still have someone beside you, I won't tell you what to do. I don't believe in instructions at this age. I'll just tell you what I wish I had understood. Love doesn't survive on intention. It survives on presence. It needs checking in. It needs curiosity. It needs to be seen and acknowledged while it's still alive. Silence isn't always peace. Sometimes it's erosion. I thought there would always be more time, more weekends, more chances, more energy. Time doesn't warn you when you're using it up. Now, at 78, I live with what remains. Some days are gentle, some are heavy. I don't regret loving her. I regret assuming love could wait. If this meant something to you, take it quietly. You don't need to act on it immediately. Just notice the people in your life today, the small invitations they offer. That's where love lives, and that's where it disappears first. I don't have much time left. I know that. But I still pay attention now, to the light in the room, to the sound of my own breath. It's not redemption, it's just honesty, and I wish I had learned it sooner.